Good afternoon. This is Andrea, the Grant Lady here, bringing you some helpful information for Tip Tuesday. So what I really like to talk about today are the 3 top misconceptions I hear on a regular basis from my potential home buyers. So number 1 is when I ask somebody if they're a first-time home buyer. Most people don't realize that they're actually a first-time home buyer. I hear a lot, oh, well, I'm a senior. I've had houses in the past. Okay, well, that's great. But have you owned a house in the last 3 years? Because essentially the definition of a first-time home buyer is that you haven't been on title for property in the last 3 years. So if you had a house, even before the market crash, had a house then, sold the house or whatever the case was, but haven't been on title for a property in the last 3 years, guess what? You are eligible for all the first-time homebuyer grants, mortgage products all over again because you haven't been on title for a property. So it's important to note too, so let's say you're a parent and you had a child, one of your children on the property, on the title. Well, technically your child, even though they may not be on the mortgage, they're not a first-time home buyer because they've actually been on the property title, the title for that property for the last 3 years. So they would have to come off the title for 3 years before they'd be eligible for all those products all over again. So that's important to know too. I have a lot of people that are like, well, I want my child to be on the title so they have the house. Yes, but then they're not eligible for first-time homebuyer products and grants when they're ready to apply. So that was misconception number 1, is that you're not a first-time homebuyer, because honestly, from the clients I work with, probably 70% of the time, they actually are first-time homebuyers, but they think that they're not. So the nice thing is knowing that you're a first-time homebuyer, because then guess what? You know what you're eligible for, and all those low down payment programs, grants, assistance, things like that, you're potentially eligible for. So the second misconception I hear quite a bit is that they don't have enough money to buy a house. Now, the thing is, most people don't realize that there's lots of grant assistance out there to actually purchase a house. So those days of not having enough money to buy a house don't happen as often because there are lots of grant assistance out there. So if you're looking for, let's say, I'm broadcasting in my office today from Aurora. So for City of Aurora, they have a grant that spans between $3,000 and $5,000. Free money, okay? We have a grant from my lender. I can't say our name, but I can talk about the grant we have. We have a grant for $4,000. Now, IDA, who you hear advertise a lot, they have quite a few programs. So they have their new access programs, which there's some different availability with that. They also have the one that's very popular for $7,500. So that kind of helps you too with having down payments. Kane County itself, excluding the City of Aurora and Bolingbrook, and I believe one other, but King County has a grant. So if you live or work in King County, there is a grant for $10,000. And each of these have their own eligibility requirements. So some require certain credit scores, others are income-based, others pertain to where you're looking to purchase. So these are things to consider when you're applying, because everybody fits into a different niche as far as what you're eligible for. But all these grants are out there. Next month, we have DPP, which is Down Payment Plus, comes out. That's $6,000. That's additional grant. And some of these you can combine together. I have another one that's just for down payment assistance, $2,000. So if you can combine these all together, that's a substantial amount of money to help you with a down payment that maybe you think you don't have, but then you do if you can qualify for all these grants and stack them together. So that's something to consider to kind of banish that misconception number 2 that you don't have enough. I've had borrowers that bought their house with literally just paying $500 or $1,000 out of pocket, and they bought a house. I wish I could have done that back in the day when I bought my first place, but I didn't know about all this. And that's why I'm really here to share all this information with you, because it's about getting that education piece out there. So third misconception is that you need to have 20% down to buy a house, which, really isn't the case. If you're a first-time home buyer, you can buy with 3% down. Some programs with the 3% down have no PMI, which is private mortgage insurance, and others do. But the fact of the matter is you can buy with a conventional loan with 3% down as a first-time home buyer, where most people think that they can only buy with little down if it's an FHA program. FHA is 3.5% down, and yes, you can buy there, but you don't necessarily have to go FHA. You can do conventional. Even if you've had a house in the past and you're not a first-time home buyer, you can buy with 5% down on a conventional loan, as long as it's a primary residence, meaning that you're going to live in the property that you're buying, because investment, if you're buying as investment, you're going to have to put more money down. Now, the other thing too, some of the grants out there are also available even if you're not a first-time home buyer. So they have their own specifications, but if you qualify for that, then you can potentially buy another house, even as a non-first-time home buyer, with some assistance, which most people don't know. So those are probably my 3 top misconceptions I hear on a regular basis, that, you know, they don't think they're a first-time home buyer, or that they don't think they have enough money down, or that they think that they have to put 20% down. And those are really total misconceptions. They're not really the case. So that concludes my Tip Tuesday with Andrea the Grant Lady. Please note in my little comment section here, there is a link. So if you're looking to get pre-approved, or you want to just discuss to see what options are available for you, click on that link, fill out the information there. I will get it and contact you right away. The other promo that I do offer for watching my Facebook Lives and for replying on there is an additional $500 off closing costs, which you can use with me. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me. And I look forward to hearing back from you. Thank you. Bye-bye.